Albany electrician Jimmy Wilbanks was in intensive care at the Medical Center of Central Georgia in January of 1979 when somehow the lines feeding life-sustaining fluids into his arteries came out. Now Barbara Jean Williams is accused of pulling out those IV lines on purpose. She's on trial now for aggravated assault, accused of trying to kill Wilbanks and 7 others in 1979 while working as a medical technician at the Medical Center of Central Georgia. Today, Mrs. Williams and the jury went into the Macon Hospital where the crimes were supposed to have happened. The prosecution claims that here, on 8 separate occasions, Mrs. Williams either turned off life support pumps or alarms or in some way intentionally tried to cause harm to the patients. A large part of the prosecution's case is based on testimony from nurses who worked here with Mrs. Williams, nurses who never saw her do anything wrong, but who say they noticed life support systems in disarray right after Mrs. Williams left the patients' rooms. What's still unclear is why Mrs. Williams would want to injure all those patients in the first place. Her defense attorney believes that there was some kind of a personal conflict between Mrs. Williams and the nurses who've been making the accusations. That's an especially crucial point in light of the fact that one of those nurses was later demoted and then left her job here at the hospital. One of those nurses, Gloria Kist, was supposed to testify before Judge C. Cloud Morgan today, but couldn't because of illness. Instead, the prosecutor put other witnesses on the stand, trying to show that the accusers were good nurses, not people out on a personal vendetta. As the trial continues into next week, the major job for the prosecution will be to protect the reputation of its key witnesses, because in this largely circumstantial case, it's very much their word against that of Mrs. Williams. From Macon, Gary Reaves, Action News.